Well, today is day 79/80. It's just after midnight now on Saturday night. Um, Made progress on the cab. All the rest is done. Repairs done. Bondo, 4 layers total I've done. And done. Sanded it down to 220 grits. And then just yesterday, Friday night, I applied some primer in here. Thick layer primer, like out of a can, off the lid. Spread it and then work that sanding it out. I got rid of the pinholes. There's still a minor few, but far better than it was. And then also hinges, minimizing clean. That's that. And then I have a 60 grit and 120 grit block, sanding blocks, like a sponge design. It's still not 100% perfection, but it's far better than it was. I did remove the hood stander, removed it just at the better work area, removed that as well. So that's done. Repairs finished up. I don't think I even talked about it in video wise, but repair wise, I just cut a whole bunch out. I fixed the defrost vent, comes down and over. Fix that first, and then a piece of steel 1/8 inch across and curved bent to it. All that in place, and then this vertical piece went down, welded it across, and then I ran out of gas with a MIG, but I still kept going. I'm almost done, and then I piece of steel behind it so it doesn't deform, and then hammered it over, and then welded across it. Done. So fixed. That's the last section of rust on this truck to fix. So we're done. And then, yeah, filled the holes in and bondoed, and yeah, it's done. So I'm ready for paint at this point now. Mashed off a bunch of stuff just for protection of threads, bare spots or ground. That's chrome. I don't want junction fittings and that. I don't want nothing painted on those. Wires for the battery going to the jumper, which I'll probably never use, but it's there. And I don't want green wire, I want black wire. I vacuumed out the dirty corners. Some loose dust from sanding everything else in the shop. I'll air this out tomorrow. Over here in the corner, when I first started this tear down and everything else, just hand paint it. It's military. But the floor's fine doing that. The back of the truck's fine doing that. The bumper will be fine doing that by hand. But in the cab corner section, rockers, the cowling, the spray can, the primer on, the texture will definitely leave texture. And on a daily basis, hopping on the truck, I'm going to hop in. Plus, it's at eye level, not chest right now. You'll see the textures all the time. So, sand this out, 220 grit. It's still a bit texture. You don't feel it. That's great. But you kind of still see the difference. But it's kind of hidden in the back bed, majorly. Like still, again, it's military. It's not a Rolls Royce. So, anyway, that wraps that up. Bumpers in the garage now. Then outside for the last few months. Brought that in as defrost now. Letting it dry out in the garage. The front side's already in primer, so that's done. But this inside, I want to needle scale the loose of the blackout that I missed, then just roll primer on. But before I put primer on, I'm gonna move these shackle mounts and the grill pivot, move these over to this side, because eventually this summer, I'm putting a winch in my truck. And why pull the bumper off twice? Just put it on the way you need it. Plus, I'm going to mount a vise to this. So, pull those off, have a nice better paint job, and then put those brackets back on. And then remount this to the truck. Then when it's mounted, I'll put a vise on it, probably on the passenger side. I got a big vise that's too big for the workshops we need. In the house, I used it as a kid. Way overkill. So use it on this. Alrighty. There's a bit of a twist to this. It's straight a little bit, but it's bowed out on both sides. So this is the bottom of the bumper, as it's always been. They're pretty well bent out. So I'm gonna wait till it's mounted on the truck so it's nice and secure, and then try to use force in some matter of getting it untwisted. But it's not a priority. It adds character, I guess. Okay, that's the bumper. The doors and the dashboard and the seat bench. Tomorrow, I get to it. Seat bench comes off. Worst case is like one spray can to repaint the frame. That's fine. I could probably rather just do that instead. I guess that's the plan. Dashboard's all reassembled and done. Airsoft painted to match. The doors now, about the last part of it, I've done. The driver's side door here is actually in excellent shape. Not too many layers of paint to deal with. We just pull the blue paint off. One layer of green from 2008. Then the car rack that's left behind. That's just impossible to sand off. It seems like. Good enough. 220 grit sand, good. And then layer primer on it. And by spray canning primer, I can see the highs and the lows. Mark that out with a crayon I have. If it's a high spot, sand it real quick. That's about it there. But these spots I have done here, again, in thick primer and spread it on. Passenger side door is seeing a lot better days. It's got some very minor highs and lows where it's not even worth pulling Bondo out and try to smear it on to where the primer works better. And after I'm done sanding it, it's already got primer on it. So that speeds up the next stage of painting it. So it's got about 2 hours so far on that door. This door is about an hour of spread. It's dry with a touch, but give it more time. It's a bit thick. So I think I have this with 80 grit, 120, 220, and then ready for paint. And while I was waiting before the video, I start pulling off door handles because I know after painting these doors, they're going to go in storage for some time, work on other priorities I have. But if I come back to it, the door handles don't work. So driver's side door did work on occasion on the outside. The inside latches on both doors work perfectly fine. So you in and out of the truck is fine, but once you shut that door, you may not be able to get in on both sides. To where you have to open the back slide window, crawl in, and open up the door. That's such security feature. So, but this door handle does not want to come off. The Phillips screws are so far stripped where none of my ones I have will work. So I'm going to get a Dremel and make it to a flathead. I mean, it's a flathead. It has 4 points, but even they don't want to fit. Not deep enough to get good grip, the turn. So that's my next step tomorrow. That door handle is junk anyway, so I don't care if I have to chop it off. I already have new handles in the box. So I just want to take it off so I can sand it behind it, make a nice perfect paint job. And then when I get to it, fix the handle. So backed up the hardware so I don't lose it. Alrighty, the last two things to talk about then, events. And that's about it for this video. So I got parts to sandblast coming up soon. That's all the door cards. Driver's side, the one's in perfect shape. I might as well just prime it now and then paint it tomorrow. But passenger side's got some minor paint flake. It's okay. It's minor. I would probably just get a block sand and that's called good. So that's what needs done there. Hardware here. This goes on my passenger side battery box, the metal portion of the inner fender. This just fell off. This is for the hood latch thing. 2 bolts, I don't know what they're for. Probably for my exhaust parts here that hold the exhaust stack to the cab. And the rest of these, and that one bolt, that's all for the dashboard. They get to attach to the cab. So that's all those. That's the hood hook to hold it in place. The hood doesn't fall on you. That needs sandblasted, paint green. I don't really need to sandblast these. They're minor, but I'm sandblasting. Might as well do them. Hooks that I took off the cab corners. Plus, you see these ones. The other ones are kind of hidden. So I guess I should blast them, make them pretty. I never will have a soft top in this truck. Either it's going to be top off, which is rarely for me. Only ever if I need to service the truck in the garage here, pull the hard top off. I'm going to get all new hardware for the hard top because it's a bit crusty pulling those bolts off. So I'm going to improve bolts on that. But otherwise, hard top on most of its life for me. So that's those. And then in this box, Grandpa gave them to him Christmas week, and I got them just today. My windshield pivots. So this goes on the passenger side. This one, that belts to the cab. Pivots. That's the lock for it. Where's it at? And then pin. This pin did not want to go out, so, and it was just so seized up, I never wanted to pivot. So heat in 55-ton press later, pins out. I already have brand new pins, but I need to pick up brand new nuts. This is destroyed, but it's a good template what I might need. Profile. And so I need to finish up wire wheeling the loose paint off. Then the rest of these, I'll sandblast all these parts at once in the cabinet. Then the pins themselves, the new ones I have in the box, everyone's suggesting to me drill a hole down center on this side, but I'm thinking about this side. Not sure what I want to do. And then 2 spots wherever it pivots, so that goes in there. So probably mainly right there. Add grease on that center. 1 hole should be enough. Yeah, probably just 1 hole. And then put a little slot, and then let the grease work its way across. So then it's all greased up, and it will pivot pretty smoothly. It never seize. So that's the plan. Give these to a friend, get them machined, drilled out, Zerk fitting. After these are all blasted. So that's that project. At least they came off. They didn't break the cast iron, so I don't have to go hunt down used ones. I can't find these on surplus stores. So that's that. And that's about it for that update on parts. The engine's still sitting here. About a 3-week delay right now. I have all the gaskets and things I need for rebuild. I have filters in the barn from Memphis. I have all the oil I need, 6 gallons worth of oil up top, so ready. It's just the shop we're taking it to. It's a 1-man crew. He's working on stuff at the VA hospital, working on stuff for my first job I worked at, doing excavation, engine swaps and rebuilds for them, diesel engines. So he's just so busy. And then it's wintertime, and everything's stuffed in the garage. But he says, we'll have it done by April. Just say that much. So I'm just waiting for him. But also for me, I'm saying to myself, I can't keep waiting. Let's get this cab done tomorrow or today. Or I said around 3 o'clock to Dad. I want to get this cab, the doors, the bumper, those all in fresh green paint. By the gallon, spray gun, 2-3 coats. And then when that's all dry, during the week, it's already on a skid on the cab. Load up the doors, load up everything else, and haul it to my neighbor's barn, put it in storage, and then it's out of here. And then pull my car in here, needs a few things fixed. And after that, clean the shop nicely, and then make more dust. Fenders, the hood, the hard top get stripped and painted. and the transmission needs separated, and then drop this off, and I'm going to go help the guy rebuild this and learn my knowledge and help save money. So that's my timeline right now. And the last part of the video is events. I'm going to Findlay, Ohio, near Toledo. That's in May 15th weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm probably going to go down, I don't know, Friday night, Saturday. I'm not sure because there's 2 events I'm trying to work out the same weekend. One I'm just going to stop by and leave, and then Findlay stay overnight. So that's that. Military show in Findlay, Ohio, and then there's a Willys Jeep events in Akron, Green, Ohio. So that's what's going on. Both have swap meets. So that's going on there. And then in June, after my birthday, there's Bantam Jeep Festival in Butler, Pennsylvania, about 2 hours south from me. I'm going to drive my truck, the Deuce, on Route 8 all the way down. Route 8 is about a quarter mile that way. Hop on Route 8, drive down that way 2 hours down to Butler, turn off, and pull into Bantam. Probably going to take a half day off work, probably arrive around 3 o'clock. Pull into the event, kind of cruise around, because Friday is the only day I can goof off with my truck. Because Saturday and Sunday, the truck is parked in the military area, which I can't drive it. It's on display. So, goof off from the event, see if I can hit the playground maybe, do some off-roading with it, light off-road, blue trail. I got locked differentials, big tires. But I can't go trails, I'm too wide, but the playground, there's no trees. So I could probably do that. And what's more epic than seeing a military truck on a Jeep off-road course? And there's a crowd grandstand watching. So that's my intent there. Then after that, it's downtown invasion. Drive the truck downtown to the parade. 500 Jeeps or 1,000 Jeeps max. It's limit to. Get that ticket, go down there, show off the truck, cruise the rest of the Jeeps. Do that. Arrive pretty early to get a good spot because most Jeeps are JT long, Gladiator long, and here I am. The shop can fit Dad's truck, which is about a Gladiator long, and he has 2 more feet of extra room. Here, my truck sticks out 4 feet extra, so it's 6 feet longer, and so I can't just park in a car spot. So I'm going to park at a corner, or I'm going to have to park. That's going to be a mystery where I park, but arrive early, and then kind of leave early as I can to get back, and then set up camp in the invasion. In the encampment. So get security, get my wristband, drive my truck into the Avenger area, encampment, park my truck, somewhat level ground, and I'm sleeping in the back bed of the truck. 13-foot truck bed. There's enough space to camp. I'm gonna buy new canvas for the back bed of the truck. Sleep in the back. I have cots, but I'm enclosed. No one's gonna see me inside, so mattress. Maybe a couch. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing there, and wake up Saturday. And Saturday morning, I'm sure I can start my truck up and kind of move it around a little bit. Better show display. And then show the truck off. Saturday and Sunday pretty much repeat. With camping in the encampment, not in the campground, so there's no showers. So the encampments in Bantam, they provide us access to Cooper's for showers and bathrooms and such. And for me, I have access to see my friends that are in the campground in their Jeeps. So that's good. I have access over there. And most part, also the events. Well, Saturday and Sunday, and even Friday, I'm going to wear my military uniform, battle uniform, BDUs, Korean War era, to match my truck. Do that. So I feel more a part of the encampment than wearing civilian clothes. So doing that. Otherwise, that's it. For both events, for Findlay, I'm not taking the truck, but I'm still at the big event. Same as Bantam. I'm gonna go buy a used one-wheel skateboard. I used to have a few of them for a while, and I always buy them during winter. And then by spring, I sell it before I even have fun. But I'm gonna look for one. They're about $1,200, the $1,500 price tag. Get some off-road tire on it. It's just a skateboard with one tire between your feet and do 30 miles per hour. And they're pretty stable. Off-road skateboard, it's better be four-wheel drive to even be useful, and they're more expensive. An e-bike is just bulky and such. So one wheel is fine with me. And yeah, so I'm gonna get one wheel, just cruise around campsite to everything else. So that's my plan and for events. But still, yeah, the main events I'm driving my truck to is in June. That's midsummer pretty much, and I want to drive my truck beforehand. So again, my deadline for the have this truck back up and running and driving, I already have plates for it, is April. So it gives me 2 months of test and drive and tuning and to figure out things out, to learn my truck more, tune the motor up more. So time. I don't want to rush myself. Anyway, that's about it for my update. It's about 12:30 in the morning. So I'm going to go inside, shower, and play Battlefield and Call of Duty and go to sleep. So, are you ready? Not bad. Wood stove is kind of maintaining 400 degrees. Workshop is, I don't know what temps it's reading right now. But Dad wants the brick all warm. The paint in here. It's 80 degrees in the shop. 0 humidity. So that's good. So that's decent temps. I put plenty of wood for the night in there. I'll check on it before I go in. Torpedo heater just to help during painting. Kind of that instant heat in certain spots. So, yep. And I should probably put the radiator, paint that black or green, cardboard, multiple layers on it, protect it, and put that in storage too. Put that on its own separate skid. Less chances of things happening, so I don't have a spare. And I'm sure they're expensive. Alrighty, that's enough. So there's my update for day 79/80. Yep. Good night.